What's up, all you crazy capitalists, you witty whiskey enthusiasts? Welcome to the Whiskey Capitalist podcast. I'm Ian. We also have Shawn, who is trying to make sure that his internet is up to snuff. So he's getting his iMac set up over there at Cav's Tav, and he should be back here in a second. You guys just got to deal with me. That's all. That's all that's going on right now. All right, so make sure you like, share, subscribe, follow, and comment down below. Just go do it right now while you're watching. Just hit the little button, smash that shit. All right. Also, go to solo.to / the whiskey capitalist for all of our links and ways to stay up to date with us. And go to bit.ly / the whiskey capitalist merch to check out our fully stacked merch store, all the awesomeness that's going on there. All righty, what are we doing today? All right, so tonight we are going to discuss, let me get this note up so I see what we have on the schedule. Tonight we're going to discuss Alyssa Milano's latest idiotic take about Elon Musk's takeover of Twitter, and in turn selling her Tesla because of it, and buying a Volkswagen. I don't think she realized that They were started by the bad guys from World War II. We'll get more into that in a minute. And but that's expected from someone like Alyssa Milano. Also, there was something that Shawn sent me about Ben Shapiro that I didn't have too much background on, but we're going to be discussing Ben Shapiro a little bit, and also the Macy's Day Parade drag show, which I didn't watch. I haven't watched the Macy's Day Parade in fucking years, so I don't know. I haven't been up on things. I guess not. Me and the wife have been doing all the Christmas decorations. So we've had Christmas movies on. We haven't really done too much. I haven't really done too much news. I have been in the realm of, I've been checking out the what's it called? All the Tim Pool, Adam Krigler shit that's been going on. I have not been paying attention to any actual news. Okay, so now that you're back.
Hey, doing good.
Okay, so you're back. Sweet. Okay, so what's the Ben Shapiro stuff?
That he's basically just like shilling out for whoever wants to pay for the Daily Beast to just start promoting them.
Daily Wire?
Yeah, Daily Wire, sorry. That's essentially what's been going on with that. And like there was just a couple like telltale things. Like there was one article that came out, which I don't know, are we diving right into that right now, or?
I was just saying I don't know what you were talking about, because I haven't been paying attention to really news.
Okay, yeah, well that's one of the ones I just kind of noticed before, because when I saw the initial there was an article that got tweeted along with an image of Ben Shapiro's tweet where he's actually calling out it's calling out like kind of like Kanye, and it's also calling out like Trump and all this type of stuff, and it's basically like, all right, so who's behind all of this? And like, it could be like Ron DeSantis who's paying for that stuff. So
I mean, well, for one thing, Ben Shapiro didn't like Trump in the very beginning. Mm-hmm. He did not like him. He did not vote for him in the 2016, and I mean, then he liked him obviously better than Biden in 2020, but he still has his reservations and his things that he has against him. So I don't see that as weird. And Kanye's fucking Kanye. You know what I mean? You can only like him so much. You know what I mean?
I hear you. I just thought it was a little telling as to like what we could end up seeing come from like Ron DeSantis, if it just means that he's going to end up like contributing money towards like these different types of news outlets to try and like turn the right in on itself.
Yeah, I mean, we can discuss it a little bit more, but yeah, okay. That I didn't understand exactly where you were going with that. I just saw Ben Shapiro bought and paid for, and I was like, okay, this should be fun. And then also I didn't watch the Macy's Day Parade, especially the drag show portion.
So, well, I didn't catch this part either, but like when I got shared and I saw like the clip, I was like, oh damn, like that's That's kind of a thing we should be talking about just a little bit. It's just a short little clip. I think honestly the big story, which I didn't even like put into the notes, but I sent it. So I put all the links in the private chat, which you should still have in there, right? Do you have that in there?
Did you put them just now?
No, I put them
Because
in there. Oh, is it empty?
yeah, it's empty.
Okay, well, I put them in there from the laptop. I thought maybe they would have stayed, but it's all right. I have all the
Wow.
links still. So I'll pull all the stuff up. But I was gonna say,
Happy feeding time, Trevor.
the Balenciaga, like that's a real story to probably be talking about.
Balenciaga.
Balenciaga, yeah. I didn't have the thing right in front of my face.
Balls.
Balenciaga. Yeah, like, no, I don't know. I don't
There's
fucking
no
follow like the high
T.
fashion thing. I'm not looking at the fucking writing right now, jackass. Like when I see the name, like okay, I can sound that out, I can say it, but like I don't know that brand. I don't know it, so therefore it's like it's foreign to me. It's like if I didn't know what Adidas was, like Adidas, like you would just make it up if you didn't know what the fuck it was.
Well, come on, you know me. I'm a fashionista. So
you must have tons of the gear all over the place, then, right?
yeah, that's why I'm always in a fucking beanie and a fucking overcoat. Yeah. So anyways, guys, don't worry. Like usual, me and Shawn will bicker. It's what we do.
It's only because Ian's a piece of shit half the time when he's talking to me.
It's our bread and butter. And don't worry, I will only have Shawn read a couple of things. Okay.
Yeah, I want to see you try and do some reading out loud today, buddy.
Okay.
Today's your day to fuck up.
Oh, good God. Okay. Well, I probably will then. I don't do good under pressure.
Well,
no, but
I've been under pressure now since you like to get under my skin right out the gate of the show. Here we go, everybody. Now it's gonna be pick on Ian day.
Sweet. Yes, I'm ready for it. Give me all the smoke. No, so speaking of other two friends that give each other shit, I've been watching the Tim Pool and Adam Krigler drama unfold, which I don't know if you've paid attention to any of that.
I don't really follow a lot of Tim Pool stuff, so like yeah, that's all news to me.
Cool. Well, we might have to take a look at a little bit of that. But until then, let me see. Oh, yeah. So, there's anything specific that you'd like us to talk about, go ahead and throw it down in the comments, and we can get to that as well. But with that, here's our intro, guys.
Who else in the level crowd say yeah?
Look at that big, juicy booty.
Hot like a tamale.
Be offended.
Do you love black people?
Do you grow?
You know the thing.
Here, next.
Don't be rude. You ain't black.
Shawn Cav.
You're going to have a flame coming out of your butthole.
Heartfelt.
A man and a woman.
All right, Shawn, I would like you to fill me in on the puppy situation because I think Trevor being broken and puppies, I think that's just a great way to start the show.
Probably not the great entrance that you think it's gonna be. It's actually a pretty rough situation he's in right now for sure. Like, I don't know. Like, have you raised puppies at all at any point in your life?
Not multiple, but Gonzo, when I had him, he was 5 weeks old when I first got him.
Okay, yeah. So you got him as like a brand new pup. Well,
Yeah.
Trevor and his wife, they breed these Aussie, like I forget what the type
Australian
of breed
Shepherds.
I think there's something like that, yeah, but they're just called Aussies. I don't know much about the breed or whatever, but I guess it's a really sought after type of dog, and they just started breeding them, and apparently, like I guess the mom got like an infection, which led to the giving birth to multiple puppies early, and so they had to bring the dog to the vet because she had an infection in the uterus, and then like all these like preemie puppies were being like in like I don't know incubators and all kinds of stuff like that, and then on top of that, then like one's a stillborn, one's got this issue, the other one's got that type of an issue. A total of 9 came out, 8 survived. one of them needed to go and get this like some type of like surgery done to it. So it's like another $4,000 down the hole for that. So like the return on investment is kind of like gone at this point on this like this litter
Yeah.
of dogs. And
I mean,
you know,
there were dogs that weren't, healthy either. I mean, I think that's kind of the most important part, Sean, you fucking heartless asshole.
well,
Jesus.
all right. So, well, again, like, yeah, this is the hard part about the whole thing because I do love dogs, but like,
I'm being a dick.
it's no, I get it, but like, it's also a really tough situation if like you're trying to treat it like a business, like
Yeah, true.
because what's your return on investment if like you're going to be buying all these dogs like food and like now because of the medication that the mom's on, they can't breastfeed. Those puppies have to be bottle fed. So now Trevor
fuck,
and
that's
his
a lot of
wife,
work.
yeah, now this is the part that's really like the hard part for them for sure. Every 2 hours they got to get up, they got to feed all these dogs. It takes about an hour to feed all of them, and then once they get past that, then like the dogs are so little and so young that they can't even use the bathroom on their own. They have to like coerce it, but like rubbing and things like that. Like it's a whole part of dog breeding I did not even know about. And I was like, okay, wow. Like typically like when I had dogs before and like there would be puppies or anything like that, like they just kind of like took care of their own, like they just got,
Yeah.
all right, yeah, these are my dogs, like these are my puppies, whatever, and like you just kind of left them in like their little crate thing with like the blankets, and like the mom takes care of them. You make sure the mom's got plenty of water and food, and then as the dogs get older, they can start moving around. They can start using the bathroom on their own. And then like they start being able to eat mush and all that type of stuff. So it's like, it's a process, but like, if you take that process away, now you are forced to be the mom to like these 8 dogs. And then on top of that, then you also, I think there might even be down to like 7 now. I think another one may have died just recently too. So like, the amount of money that they've spent already on trying to like, keep the dogs from like keep them surviving, and then like everything they have to look forward to before they can even sell them, like they're gonna be lucky if they break even on this litter. And like again, that's me looking at it from the business side of it. I'm kind of desensitized when it comes to this type of thing. Like for me, honestly, like it would be hard for me to spend like that kind of money on like my own dogs. Like I know it sounds hard to say. I got two little Pomeranians that run around the house. They're my wife's dogs, and like I love them, but at the same time, it's like that's a good chunk of change that I'm taking away from the family for a dog. Like it's really hard. I know everyone's gonna probably hate me for that comment, but like it's a tough thing you got to balance out. And fortunately enough, like they can kind of like make this work right now. And hopefully things get better. Hopefully the rest of the dogs make it through like this rough period the next few weeks, and things turn around for them for sure.
Well, that's I heard puppies and I got excited.
I know it sounds like it's gonna be like a yay, like a good story with puppies and whatever, but no, this is like that's a stressful situation when you're not getting any sleep. And like we're gonna go over there, my wife and we're gonna go over and help them out, like, and try and take some turns feeding the dogs and everything, just that way they can get a break. So
well, Trevor, sorry for what you're going through. And I mean, I can't really help them on the other side of the country, but I can give you moral support.
Yeah, that's right.
That's all I can do.
Just call them. Hey, you doing all right, man?
Hey, buddy, how you doing? Yes. If all I can do is help, and you can give me shit about not being able to drink like an adult this weekend and remembering your first beer. Yes, I will definitely do that. I was fucking hammered.
Yeah, that's right. You didn't do a live stream on Saturday because like you just got too shit-faced Friday, right?
Yeah. Okay. Well, my buddy Nick, and then my buddy Nick, who lives right down the street, and then my buddy James, who we were all friends together. We are still friends together, but we were all friends, and we worked for Vivint, the not Vivid, the porn company, but Vivint, the alarm system company. We all worked together. We were all installation techs, and we just got to know each other real well. They've known each other for a while. They were in the army. and army together, and I was like their stoner idiot friend. And so we all started hanging out, and James was actually one of my groomsmen, and and my wife and his wife like were good buddies and everything, and then they fucking up and moved to Vegas, and because he got a job being an elevator I'm calling it kind of elevation an elevator tech, which he makes great money doing that. And so he's been out there for the past year and a half, at least maybe 2 years. And so whenever he comes into town, it's like, yeah, let's go out and fucking have some drinks. And so I told and I think this happened 2 years ago. We went out and it was Black Friday, and we were supposed, like, me and Jen were supposed to like trim the tree and get all the ornaments up and everything. And I didn't come home until like 1:30 or 2 in the morning. And so I got in trouble, which I never really get in trouble. Like, me and Jen, we have a pretty chill relationship. She never yells at me. I never yell at her. Like, there are very few times where we've ever gotten in arguments. And I got a phone call at like 1 o'clock that night, and she was like, "Are you gonna fucking come home?" and I put it on speakerphone because, again, we never really get mad at each other. So I figured she'd say something funny or like whatever. And I just remember getting the look from Nick and James like, "Ooh, you're in trouble," because they get in trouble all the time because they're fucking bigger idiots than I am. So like it was like, oh my God, Ian actually got in trouble. What the fuck? And so, yeah. And so Jen this time was like, oh yeah, so I'm going to drive you this time, so you don't have to worry, which was smart and dumb, because she said, like, so you don't have to worry about driving, so you can have, a good couple of drinks and then I'll pick you up, which is like smart, because then she's the one who, dictates the time, but she didn't at all. But then again, she's allowing me to get fucking hammered.
Yeah, and then like your inhibitions get lowered. Next thing you know, it's like one more drink, and then next thing is I'm just gonna Uber home, babe.
Yeah, exactly. And then so we end up getting fucking shit faced, and Nick is kind of like the punching bag. Like and James brought another friend too who knows Nick and knows James, so we were just giving Nick a bunch of shit just because like he says some very interesting intelligence wise things, and so we just give him shit.
Intelligence wise.
Yes, intelligence wise. I'm trying to not call him a dumbass.
Smartness things.
Yes, exactly.
So much smartness rolls out of his face.
yeah, exactly. He oozes intelligence. And so but yeah, so not saying that I'm not a fucking dumbass either, but like, yeah, so we all just give each other shit. We were playing pool and fucking, telling old fucking dumb stories, and there was a guy who we swear was on fucking Grindr behind us the whole fucking time. He looked gay, and it looked like he was just fucking swiping. But no one met up with him. So I was like, oh, that's sad. I mean,
yeah. Well, actually, like, the funny story about something like that. The other last week, I got this weird ass message on like Facebook Messenger from like this guy. He was like a manager in like one of like the bars downtown, and like it was like at 5 a.m. It says, "You up?" And I'm like, what the fuck is that? And like, I didn't see it till like 4. I saw it like 8 a.m. or whatever. I'm getting up, I'm taking care of the kids or whatever. Cause I think it was also a weeknight. We're talking like Wednesday morning, 5 a.m. Hey, you up? Type message. Now I knew this guy.
That was me.
That was you? No, it was not you. It was not you. Like this, and apparently this guy, because I showed the message to a couple of my buddies that are also like musicians in the area and whatnot, and you wouldn't fucking believe it. All of them were like, "Dude, he's done the same thing to me and this and that." I'm like, "Well, what is that? Is that just him just like being a fucking jackass or what?" It's like, no, because obviously we all knew the guy was gay, but like apparently he's also like a drug fiend, and he just goes around trying to like find dudes that are awake that he can go and suck their dick for money. He's like trying to whore himself out around like the area. And like, I was like, holy shit. And like, I was like, well, make sure I block that fucking guy. It's like,
yeah, seriously.
What we got? The movies.
It is shaping up pretty nice, I do have to say. Gav's tap.
Right?
I mean,
it's turning into something. It's turning into something here.
Yeah, Gav's tab. I mean, Cav's tab is nice. Um, anyways, okay. So back to me because I'm good at talking about myself.
Oh yeah, talk about you. Let's talk more about you, not me getting propositioned by a drug fiending homosexual.
That'll happen again.
I know. Look at me, right?
yeah, you're there. So basically, we got fucking hammered. I had four talls, dude. I was like not trying to because I had to go back and fucking put ornaments on the tree. I'm not gonna drop
only 4 tall boys.
Yeah, no, 4 tall whiskey and cokes.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah. So I was trying to wasn't
doubles,
going doubles, wasn't going regulars, you know. And yeah, now back to Grinder tonight. Yes, movies. That's the important thing. Also, there was a very effeminate, skinny, gay black.
That's your type, man.
No, it was my type to laugh at.
All right, fair enough. Let's
And
go.
so it was very entertaining. We were laughing the whole time. Sent puppy pics to Twitter DM from Shawn's story. I don't know if I want to see him now.
They're cute puppies. I mean, they are cute puppies. All right, can we please finish your Grinder story?
Hey, shut up! You talk for a good 10 minutes. Fuck off. So,
no, I didn't.
And I told you guys we're gonna bicker. But anyway, so like, I got so I got fucking hammered because they're like, oh yeah, you know, here's a couple more drinks. It's like, all right, sweet. So then I call Jen and she picks me up, and once we get home, she was like, yeah, we're not putting ornaments on the tree. And I was like, what? Why? I'm excited because I was all drunk. She's like, you're too fucking hammered. I was like, I'm early though. It's not so late as last time. And then yeah, so the next day I was fucking fully hungover, didn't get up until super late, which is kind of my thing anyways. But yeah, so I was just like, yeah, but we're not doing the stream today.
Well, there you go.
Yep. Sorry I bored you there, Shawn.
It's all right. I was hoping for a big extravagant. I got thrown in the doghouse. She won't speak to me. Like those types of things.
Wow, what a fucking asshole.
What? I wanted to hear some real consequences, not just like, oh, well, I came home late and I got a stern talking to. And then,
I mean, she was a little mad at me, but
okay.
But I mean,
fair enough.
You know, I would be mad at her if she came back that drunk. I was pretty fucking hammered. I was mad, dude. I made so much noise, dude. I was dropping shit and fucking all in the studio. It was bad. And then I had to take like 3 showers because that, for some reason, gets rid of a headache and hangover for me.
Yeah.
It didn't work.
Okay.
So anyways, let's get into these fucking topics unless you want to talk about these puppies again.
No, let's move on past the puppies. Did we already do the intro?
Yeah, we did.
Oh, okay.
We did the intro.
Okay.
It was right as you jumped in.
Okay, gotcha. Well, okay, so then here's the first one where I don't know, you saw this one? You saw this with Alyssa Milano?
Yes.
It's like,
I'm glad you pulled that up because I have that, and then I have some funny older.
Oh, perfect.
Tweets.
Yeah, so she goes, I gave back my Tesla. I bought a VW EV, which I guess is just their electric vehicle. I don't even know that Volkswagen even made one, to be honest. So I love it. Everyone's got one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they have a Mustang electric vehicle.
Really? There's a Mustang one now too?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's weird. It looks like a fucking like mid-size SUV or like small SUV. It's fucking weird.
That's ugly. It just sounds ugly.
It's fuck.
Well, I'm not sure how advertisers can buy space on Twitter. Publicly traded companies, products being pushed in alignment with hate and white supremacy. You got to always include that for a tweet, of course. Doesn't seem to be a winning business model. And then the best thing is that even so, the Hodge twins.
I love Hodge twins.
Yeah, it's like Volkswagen was literally founded by the Nazis and Hitler, and then Elon. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't think I have
Hodge twins in there.
Yeah. Now I don't think I have the image, but the Hodge twins then tweeted out the fact that Fox News covered their tweet showing it that like Alyssa Milano. So it blew up. It was like a whole thing for like the next like all day today. Then like still, it's like I can't believe we did this.
Yeah. Okay. So this is what I think is funny and ironic about Alyssa Milano. I mean, just one of the things because she's irony,
Right.
all the time. But it's this. So this is from 2015. 4 people you'd want to have dinner with, dead or alive. Mine, Jesus, Roberto Clemente, John Lennon, and Elon Musk. From 2014, Elon Musk, you're amazing. So is it because, everyone's saying something about him now, or is it just...
I think it's a combination of things. Just because like for the most part, people can change. Like you can like be friends with somebody and be like, wow, like they're just not the same person that they were before, and like not be friends with them again, or past that point. So like I don't know, you could have a changing of opinion of someone over years, but like because being 2014 again with that last tweet, but at the same time, like she was like referring to like Tesla, and the fact that they were pushing like the electric vehicles and they were kind of revolutionizing what electric vehicles were going to be. Like no one like still to this day, like the EVs, like no one can really compete with like a Tesla for like range. Like the Teslas are almost like 400 miles for a charge compared to all the other like EVs were right around like 200 miles.
Yeah.
So it's like obviously they're doing it right.
Yeah, exactly. And it's, I don't know, man. It's a big thing. I mean, the Teslas could look like not as shitty. I mean, they don't look very appealing to me.
No, they don't. They try to go so futuristic, like the inside, like the cabs. Like I can't get behind that. It's really really difficult. But they also try to make it like more affordable for like an electric vehicle, which you got to commend them for that. And honestly,
have you ever ridden in one?
I've never ridden inside one. I have a bunch of neighbors that have them, but like I've never been inside one.
Dude, like I've never been in a faster fucking car from 0 to what, like holy shit. It's literally,
I saw
dude,
like the race. It's like 10
startling.
Yeah, it's like 1,050 horsepower like to the wheels. Like it's like insane.
My my guitarist from the band Set Aflame from in Texas, when Jen and I went out there to do the like our reunion show or whatever, and I think it was 2019. Anyways, doesn't matter. So when we were back there, my old guitarist Patrick, he has one, and like the fully decked out one. It's got like the nice, all the extra shit, all the cam, all the whatever, and like, I mean, I had a couple of drinks, so like my inhibitions were a little bit, different, but like it snapped me out of it. Like it was so fucking quick. We were sitting at a fucking stop sign and we were like on a back street or whatever, and he opened it all the way up, dude. It was so foreign of a fucking feeling because it just fucking straight back. It was like a fucking spaceship, dude.
Yeah, I remember the first time I saw a video clip of a Tesla and like the 0 to 60, just like how quick that takeoff was. That torque on that thing is just ridiculous for an electric vehicle. It's pretty wild.
Just like sitting in that seat, and it like pushes you into the fucking seat. You're like, Jesus Christ, what the fuck, man? Like,
yeah, I would love to try that out at some point just to see what it's all about. But like, I kind of wish that they would make less lame looking vehicles, to be perfectly honest, just because like then it'd be like, all right, that's something I can get behind. And I was going to bring up the fact before that, like, you can like a product and not like the person that created the product, just like how like we can like certain musicians' music but like hate their politics.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, that's not like a foreign concept. And like I had to commend Stephen King for even as much of a left-wing nut job as he is. He was even making those comments where he still loves his Tesla. He's like, oh, I love my Tesla, but I hate what he's doing to Twitter. Blah, 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 blah. And it's like, dude, no one gives a fuck what you think about this, that you have a Tesla, go and enjoy that. Like, it's just like the same thing with like, like we have Apple phones. I know me and you have Apple and whatnot. Like, do we agree with Apple's like take on what they're doing anymore? No, but like,
Dude,
it's a good product.
I'm gonna have my fucking 14 Pro Max sent to me in a couple of days. Like, I just got the new one.
Yeah, and it's like, well, now the big talk on Twitter is, of course, that Elon Musk needs to make his own smartphone.
Well, yeah, because he said he's going to war with Apple over some of the shit that's going on with
because like they pulled their advertising, with the
payment shit. Well, basically, what it is he's saying that Apple gets 30% off of any purchases that come through any app from the App Store, and he's like, yeah, that this isn't gonna happen. And then there's obviously if he reinstates Alex Jones, reinstates other people, there's a lot of people are predicting that Apple is going to take him off of the take Twitter off of the App Store,
they're
for whatever.
it already,
yeah, exactly. So there's that thing too, and that is a big deal, especially since it does have a lot to do with the free speech stuff, and that does really suck. So I mean that is but I like their phones, but anyway, no. So I mean, they make good phones. I mean, well, the little Asian children, they make good phones. But no. So but back to talking about Tesla. Like, dude, the auto drive or like that shit's fucking weird. Like, it's so weird because again, another foreign fucking feeling, like being in the car with my old guitarist and him just like hands off the wheel doing fucking 70 down the goddamn freeway, and it driving itself, dude. It fucking puckered butthole the whole time. Like,
yeah, no, I wouldn't be able to do that. That's like trusting a robot to like do its job just perfectly, and like your life is on the line, and robots are not to be trusted.
But one of the best things about the Tesla, and this is because I love dick and fart jokes, is because there's a whoopee cushion effect that you can put on a certain seat in the Tesla that you can control with one of the buttons on the steering wheel. So you can set it up to be like, so if grandma gets in the fucking back seat, you can put the whoopee cushion sound underneath her seat so it sounds like she's farting.
And who thought of that? That had to have been just like some kind of
Elon.
You think that was Elon that came with, we need a whoopee cushion effect in the Teslas?
Yes. You that was him. He's a fucking troll. He was like, this will be funny. Like, but then, okay, what I think would be also funny is if, and I don't know how much of an invasion of privacy this would be for those people, but I think it would be funny that any of the people that are shitting on Elon on Twitter and also have a Tesla, so like Alyssa Milano or Stephen King or any of these, whatever, it'd be really funny if every time they turn their car on, if on the video screen, it's just a picture of him and just laughing. You know what I mean? Him just fucking laughing like, got your money, bitch. You know what I mean? I think it'd be great.
$8 a month. $8 a month.
Yeah, he gets it. It just says $8. Be fucking great. Be great.
I like the fact that he even tweeted that it's like, hey guys, by the way, I'm also paying $8 a month.
Yeah, exactly. Did you see, you saw the thumbnail for this episode, right?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. I'm pretty proud of it because of my artistic design.
There was some good stuff in there for sure.
Let me see. Hold on. I thought having Alyssa Milano angry, steam coming out of her ears over a Panzer, because German, and then
Nazis.
$8.
Based.
Yes, exactly. Based dingus. But yeah, I was pretty proud of myself. Sometimes I do good. Sometimes.
It's a good one.
But anyways, okay. Anything else on what's his face?
For Alyssa Milano and Elon? Yeah. No, I think we're good on that one.
Okay. What else do we have? Oh, you're drinking. I was like, did you cut out?
No. Oh yeah,
All
we're in the works of trying to book Rittenhouse.
That would be fucking amazing.
I know. I should just like start bombarding him with DMs like, "Hey bro, you up?"
That'd be great. But it's just weird because he's such a fucking kid. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, and I think the biggest tell that he was like so much of a child was when he was on Steven Crowder's
Yeah.
was it Ash Wednesday thing, and he's sitting there and like they're talking to him about girls. The next thing you know, it was like this it felt like a high school locker room talk. Like you
Well, yeah,
familiar with what
exactly.
I'm talking about? It just felt
Oh yeah, I
awkward.
remember that. And then he also on You Are Here with Elijah Schaefer.
Yeah.
His episode when he was on there, they had Sarah Gonzalez, who's like an attractive Hispanic woman, mom, whatever.
Right.
And it was just funny. It was like a younger kid and like a cougar. And fucking
Yeah, but she doesn't put out like flirty vibes or nothing like that. Like she's not that.
Oh, she did.
type. She did.
Oh, she did.
Or is it just
Yeah.
because he's got those cheeks? He's got those
Yeah.
peachful cheeks.
Yeah, you know what? I don't know what it was. Maybe because he's manly and he protects his people.
It makes him seem manly until you actually talk to him, and then, and then it's like,
maybe because
oh, wow,
he
you're a
shoots
child.
because he shoots pedos, and she's like, well, he'll take care of my kids.
That's right. It's very true. And like it's not taking anything away from like say like yeah, he's got some growing up to do for sure, but like it certainly seems like he's got a big future in like right wing politics if he actually follows through with what he was saying before about like taking that step.
Well, yeah, and if he takes down fucking CNN and all these other fucking places and Whoopi Goldberg and all these fucking dumb bitches, I mean, he's got a spot in everyone's heart forever.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, being able to sue and win against like The View and like just taking down Whoopi Goldberg, that'd be huge.
Oh, to get fucking that fucking fat pig fucking Joy Behar to shut her fucking trap. Jesus Christ. Ugh. But yeah, no, that would be fucking great. I would love that. Him, Alex Stein, I'd love to have on. I think it'd be funny to have the Hodge twins on too.
Yeah, it'd be great to just like be able to talk to them and like see like I don't know like their story, whatever they got going on.
Yeah. But yeah. So did you want to talk about the Ben Shapiro stuff, or I mean,
yeah, let's bring that up real quick, just because I feel like this is maybe you didn't fully understand what I was getting at before with this thing. So like you gotta like see the article first, where it's like Ron DeSantis paid over $100K to Ben Shapiro's Daily Wire. And like, let's see here is a potential 2024 showdown with former President Donald Trump. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis has enlisted leading right-wing outlet for advertising, Ben Shapiro's Daily Wire. The Republican governor paid over $100,000 since last year in fundraising expenses to the site. So essentially, it's like they're funded by a big portion of what they're being funded by in this sense is Ron DeSantis. So like it's looking towards like the future for him as all right, this is going to be like my outlet for advertising for my campaign. These people are going to be in my corner. And, so then Ben Shapiro writes, a good way to not accidentally dine with a vile racist and anti-Semite you don't know is to not dine with a vile racist and anti-Semite you do know. And it's a very vague tweet. It's like he didn't want to necessarily call out Trump, didn't want to necessarily call out Kanye, but like he's trying to get people talking about it, like the negative things that are happening about the Mar-a-Lago dinner.
Well, I think it's just a troll. It like because I think the way I read that is I read that as a go fuck yourself, leftists. Like you think that everyone is a vile racist and an anti-Semite that doesn't agree with you. So like he was basically saying like, I know Ron DeSantis. I don't know Kanye or Trump. Like I know him. So like, I don't know. I that's the way I read that.
No, like the way I'm reading that is like almost taking what you're saying, and we might almost be saying something very similar, but like I think you're missing the part where it's like he's leaving Trump and Kanye in this realm of like racist anti-Semites, you know, and leaving Ron DeSantis out of it.
No, but then he's also calling DeSantis a vile racist and anti-Semite. The thing he's differentiating is that he doesn't know those two, but he knows this one. Because he's literally a good way not to accidentally dine with a vile racist and anti-Semite you don't know is not to dine with a vile racist and anti-Semite you do know. So he's literally calling all three of them vile racists and anti-Semites because that's what the left calls them. But he's just saying, I don't know Trump. I don't know these two, but I do know this one.
Yeah, I suppose that could be it, but like, I still don't trust any of it. Like, it's to me, this definitely feels like more of an attack on Kanye and Trump versus DeSantis.
I mean, I can see your point, but
just going along with where the money is coming from. You know, again, going back to this with Ron DeSantis, it just more or less, it feels to me like this is like the beginning of like paid promotion and like attack campaigns.
I could see a little bit of where you're coming from, but I think you got a little bit of a tinfoil hat on.
Maybe
a little much.
Maybe I'm a little bit of a retard right now, but you know, like,
I don't know. You've seen the documents, but you know,
Ben Shapiro's turning the frogs gay.
Yeah, I don't know if you're gonna find some fucking interdimensional, sex demons, or you're gonna find some, gay frogs up, Shapiro's ass or something. But I mean, can we also just be honest? Like, Shapiro is also Jewish, so he's gonna go where the money is. Like, I mean, just saying. Yeah, exactly. There's a coat hanger that comes in like, shut up,
Ian, you got to get off the air now.
Exactly. Oops. No, but I mean, like I can understand, but then at the same time, I can understand that if someone's going to, help fund your business and do all that stuff, you're going to have, nicer things to say about them. But I do think that since, with people that are conservative and going to be on the right, I do think that they're still going to have criticisms. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah.
So I have faith that if DeSantis does something dumb, I have faith that Ben Shapiro's still going to call him out on it, no matter what,
Hopefully. I mean, like, I hate kind of like shitting on Ben Shapiro because he's like a super intelligent guy, but like he's also kind of like not the most trustworthy in my opinion, just because like he will go wherever the money is, like, so like,
wow, that's so fucking anti-Semitic, dude. Jesus.
Well, yeah, I guess so. I guess it is. Whatever. I mean, like, I didn't bring Jewish into the whole statement, but I just said,
you said
like, him personally.
It's kind of annoying.
I said money and I said Ben Shapiro, so therefore that must make him like a Jew and a shill.
No, I mean, I do think that,
like rubbing two pennies together, breed, damn it, breed.
God damn it. Bagels are just going to pop up out of nowhere. Like, also there's, Daily Wire isn't just Ben Shapiro. Yes, he is, the highest, one of the highest earners, and he is one of the, the starter of,
well, it's his company.
Daily Wire, but also, Jeremy Boring, he's the owner of the company. He's the CEO. So there's him, and then they also have Andrew Clavin, Michael Knowles, and Matt Walsh, and like all these other, and Candace Owens, and all these other Candace Owens is friends with fucking Kanye. So like, like I don't see Daily Wire.
Can you really say that, like, for a fact Candace Owens is even involved in any of that type of stuff? Like, obviously she's not going to get involved in all that type of like advertising and like hit campaigns and stuff like that. Maybe she won't throw her hat in that ring. I don't imagine Matt Walsh ever doing that. Matt Walsh's whole thing is trying to protect children. That's like his entire like stance.
I think that Candace Owens, backed up Kanye against all the leftist stuff. So she already went against way more combative and got herself combative people and got herself involved in a lot more of a controversial situation with that, backing Kanye. So I think depending, obviously if something happens with Kanye and he pulls some crazy shit, which we all know is in the cards, it could, it's not far off that that'll happen, that he'll say some shit against Candace. But at the same time, I think that her allegiances will stay with him, but she's going to be fair to the other candidates, obviously. And that's even saying if fucking DeSantis is going to run. Who's saying, you know what I mean? We're also like Kanye and Trump. Those are the two that have announced that they're running, right? So DeSantis hasn't even announced he's running. So maybe he's just helping fund a conservative outlet over these fucking mainstream media pieces of shit. That's the way I'm looking at it too.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because until he announces he's running, I am not gonna fucking speculate over whether or not he's trying to steer someone one way. Because I mean, he's either got Trump or he's got fucking Kanye at this point to fucking put money into. So,
and the thing is, if anything, Kanye, and I think Josh Lakash said this, Kanye creates a great same side nemesis for Trump, where it's a good adversary that's going to push Trump to be more Trump than he's ever been before, because essentially the conversation they had at Mar-a-Lago started off with Kanye asking about him being his VP, kind of almost tongue in cheek, hey, fuck
dude,
you, it's a joke.
Fucking balls on that guy.
Yeah,
jeez.
But that's kind of like a Trumpian joke almost, where it's because he would almost do something like that that's insulting but kind of funny. So it's there's that element of it, but then it's Nick Fuentes goes in there and he says oh well, I didn't like your speech when you announced you were running for presidency and stuff like that. He laid it out there for him very honestly, and to this day apparently, and you can get better to the minute coverage of the Kanye 20 was it Yay 24 campaign stuff by following, because Josh Lakash is talking about this shit all the time. I think he actually wants to get involved. I think he's because in one of his latest live streams he mentioned that he's been talking to Milo for a while now, through text and stuff like that, before he even knew that Milo was getting involved with Kanye. So now he's planning on going to LA and meeting up with them. I think he's going to probably throw his hat in the ring to try and be hey, can I get involved in the campaign or whatever like that, which would be super interesting.
My light flickering on and off. I think Kanye hears us talking.
Oh, he hears it?
Yeah.
But still, no, I think it would be super interesting to see if Josh got involved in that stuff as well. But if anything, this is kind of the campaign to kind of hold Trump accountable. That's because one of the things. Oh, hold on, one last thing. One of the things that Kanye did bring up at the dinner, which Trump doesn't really have an excuse for, is why didn't you pardon or excuse any of the people in January 6th? And that was one of the ones where it's okay, yeah, that's a good point. Why didn't he do anything?
It is a good point, but at the same time, he only had 2 weeks to do that. And the way that I feel is, and I think it's something that it's a detriment to our society as a whole, is no one, and I know you will not have any understanding of this, is patience. And we have to have patience when we're investigating a situation. And I'm not saying that, but it's just when COVID for those first couple of weeks, dude, I was I fucking wore gloves. I fucking wore a mask. I was on top of it because I didn't know what it was. And then once investigations started coming out and once more information came out, then you make a better decision. So right after the January 6th stuff, I was oh, that's fucked up. But I mean, it doesn't seem as crazy as the Antifa riots, but but at the same time, I don't fucking know. I wasn't there. I don't know what the fuck happened. And so once more information comes out, then we realize oh, the only person that got killed was by a cop. And it was one of the protesters who wasn't even doing anything to fucking Ashley Babbitt. And then they have this fucking have, all the fucking, Fed boys in there, and like Antifa was in there too, acting. So there's like all this other information coming out. So I mean, I can understand where Trump was just like, dude, what if some shit went down and they actually were being fucking crazy, and all this shit happened, and then I pardon them, and then that's looks even more worse, like optics wise. Like, I can understand that.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I mean?
And I can agree with you. I can agree with you on that. And like the patience element of it, like, yeah, like it was taking a step back and realizing, all right, we need to get the full picture. Getting the full picture on like the full scenario. Yeah. But he hasn't really said anything about like, when I run, I'm going to get these guys out of prison. I'm going to get them out of solitary confinement, the whole bit, like, he hasn't said anything like that. Like, it's not like one of his.
But then how many times have we had politicians make promises and then fucking fail on them? Like, so I mean, I'm just saying, like,
has he failed on any of his promises though? Like when he said that he was going to like build the wall, which is like what he ran on in 2015, like building the wall, like, yeah, the wall's basically finished.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying, like, I think he's playing it as smart as he can with the situation that is put in front of him.
Fair enough. And again, like, I'm just pointing out the fact that I think that this Kanye campaign, they don't have a shot at winning, but I think it will hold Trump accountable to make him make better decisions and not only have yes men surrounding him. Because that was one of the things that like Josh pointed out. He pointed out the fact that he still has all these yes men surrounding him in his his offices and whatnot currently. So he needs to have someone like Nick Fuentes or like Milo who might just tell him, no, you're making a mistake. Hey, don't do this, or like, that's a dumb idea, then like make him defend his stance, like make him stand up for what it is that he wants to do. That's
I think Kanye is like a Trump to Trump, like Trump was to establishment, and like how he was like a bull in the china shop, like Kanye saying something about the January 6th protesters and whatever is like Trump saying, who built the cages, Joe? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I can see that for sure.
I agree.
So, I mean, I think it'll be good. But it's this fine line of it can either be good for Trump because it gives someone to push back on him and him to fucking, come out firing on all cylinders like he was in fucking 2015 and 2016. Right. But then at the same time, it could be it's that fine line of it could be detrimental to the right, because it could just be a spectacle of the leftists like, look at these fucking idiots fucking going back at each other. You know what I mean?
Right. But I if anything, it's going to be a lot of good content for sure. Like, no matter how you look at it, like, like we're golden. We got tons of content to be able to talk about when it comes to these two. But like, I'm kind of steering myself back away from the idea of this being bad for the right necessarily. I'm thinking, if anything, this is going to be something that refines Trump and makes him like on top of his game.
Well, yeah, and and the right is, there's plenty of criticism and fair criticism talking about how the right isn't good at being involved in culture, and that's a lot of liberal and left Democrats and all that stuff. They have a good hold on culture and getting a hold of people that way. So, I mean, it definitely could.
Oh, you mean like celebrity, like kind of like
celebrity
like
culture, just influencing culture? Because I mean, like music and movies and celebrities and all that stuff that they're Democrat and they talk that way, so they have the influence on culture and all that. So I mean, I can see how this could be positive in the fact that conservatives and Republicans are getting involved in that part and in influencing some sort of culture. I can see that, but then at the same time, it's just like maybe it's just my fucking historical bias of how much the right has done to themselves to fucking fuck themselves over in that way. So I'm very in that way, it's like a picture, it didn't happen kind of thing for me. You know what I mean? Like if it happens, I'll see it when I believe it. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
Gotcha.
it's very it's very like I said, it's very on the fence for me. Like I don't know if it's going to be good or bad. I will reserve my opinions fully for that one. But it'll be fucking.
I mean, like, and your opinions can always waver and change too with this, because like I know mine are going to. I'm going to be back and forth on this thing. Like before, I'm like, I don't like this. I don't like the idea of like dividing the right any more than what it already is. And then it's like now, like it seems like Ron DeSantis has not like made any attempts to like throw his hat in the ring, but Kanye's making it very clear that he's running, and you know it's putting Trump like on the spot. Like, all right, you know, you're running, but like now you got to start like holding up to your end of the bargain. Like you got to really come through and save America.
Okay, if Trump and Kanye do start going back at each other and Trump doesn't use special ed from Crank Yankers and say, yay, 24, I'm going to be so fucking pissed. All right?
He calls himself Yay, but I just keep on hearing Yay. You can just imagine going, hey.
Yay. No, I think again, it'll be plenty enough content. I think it'll be great in that way. So I'm happy for it.
Sure.
But yeah, so did you want to do the Macy's Day Parade thing, or you want to talk about maybe some Tim Pool shit?
Let's do some of the Tim Pool stuff. I'll let you steer the ship for a while.
Okay. No, I'm scared.
Oh God.
I'm nervous. No, so when I get nervous, I just stick my hands.
Be gentle.
Superstar. So yeah, so I think it's how long have you watched Tim Pool? Like what?
How long? Like how many hours of Tim Pool have I watched?
No, for how long have you known about Timcast? You know what I was fucking talking about. You're being a dick.
I've known about Timcast for I don't know, like a few years at least. You know, like easily 4 or 5 years. I've known about Timcast, but like honestly, like I've listened to a handful of his episodes, like on like Apple Podcasts, like from just like when I'm driving and I got nothing else to listen to, and like I'm like, all right, just throw on some Tim Pool, and you know, like I barely ever have tuned into his live streams, mostly just because like he starts going into this like geeky stuff, and I'm just like, it's not for me. Like I don't know, he starts talking about like video games or like weird like you know Dungeons and Dragons type stuff. I'm just like, I'm sorry, dude. I'm just not. It's not for me.
Well, the whole thing. So I think it was like like end of 2019, like beginning of 2020, like right before COVID stuff. He started the Timcast IRL, and which is the live podcast he does every night. And before that, he was doing he had a Tim Pool channel and a Timcast channel where he did like 4 or 5 segments every day. Not 4 or 5 on each channel, but combined. And then he wanted to do like a discussion channel and a live stream, and then do but not talk about the same things that he talked about in the other ones. And he wanted to be more like UFOs or fucking, Skinwalker Ranch or fucking relationship shit, whatever. And so he had this other guy, Adam Krigler, on there. Okay. And I don't know if you know who Adam Krigler is, but that's kind of where he came from. He's been on Rekida's show. He talks with Quarter Black Garrett all the time, talks with the Quartering. And he started on there. He was just a friend of Tim's that, they met fucking about to play Magic the Gathering. They were skateboarders. They, you know what I mean? Like they were just kind of fucking nerd friends for a while. And so he wanted Adam on there, and then Adam, there's a big video on the Timcast IRL channel that it's one of the top viewed videos, is where it says liberal becomes a MAGA supporter. And it was Adam that did that because he changed over, he kind of red pilled, and there was a situation, and then one day he was just off the show, and Adam didn't really talk about it. Tim really didn't talk about it, and Adam was like kind of a loved person on that show. Everyone loved Adam, and so everyone's just like, "What the fuck? Like, what happened?" And like Adam was like, "Nah, I don't want to get into it, whatever." And so I think last week he put out a 6-hour live stream, going over all of the everything. It was the first like 2.5 to 3 hours was pretty much the story, and then the last bit of it was all like super chats and shit, and kind of given a little bit of extra information. But so basically what happened is they had when they first started, it was just Tim and Adam, and they were just kind of going back, and Adam pushed back against Tim, made fun of him, like, gave him, pushback. It was kind of almost like, me and you, we just talk shit and like whatever and give each other shit and whatever. We could still have a conversation. It's still fun. You know what I mean?
It's all out of love.
What?
It's all out of love.
Yeah, exactly. It was no big deal. And then, also, Tim's a very, how do I put this? A very kind of controlling person with his emotions, and very, so poking fun at him is almost kind of easy. You know what I mean? Because he's such a serious person. Like, dude, like fucking let go a little bit. And so, so Adam was like, yeah, dude, it was fucking fun. Like, it was fun to like give my friend shit. And then everyone like realized like, oh yeah, Tim kind of has like, he can get made fun of. And then, I guess what happened is they brought in Lydia, Sour Patch Lids on Twitter. Yeah. So she was the producer, but, what Adam said is that she had never been a producer before, and she basically just hit Tim up in DMs, and then Tim, like she fucking slid into his DMs, and then Tim invited her out to the house in New Jersey where they had it first, and then she ended up becoming the producer. And he was, and Adam was like, dude, like, this is a good show. Like, why are you just gonna bring in this random chick who doesn't know anything about fucking producing, and then just have her produce? Why don't you get an actual producer and make this like a legit, you know what I mean? Like, he was paying Adam like a good chunk of fucking money. And he's like, dude, like, why don't you you're paying me this money. Why don't you pay that money to someone who's actually going to legitimately make this show better? And so, he was saying how Tim would fucking berate her after the shows, like when she would do something wrong. And Adam was like, yeah, I would get after her too and whatever. But like it was to the point of like screaming at her. And then, which makes it kind of ironic of, why Adam left. So then what happened is, I guess, Adam, since he's been going through his red pill and whatever, he's like coming to terms with a lot of the decisions that he made, when he was more liberal. And so there was a discussion about pro-choice and pro-life. And, another thing also is that, Lydia was like a fucking parrot for Tim. So Lydia would just basically, agree with everything Tim said. She was basically in love with him, like all this shit. And then Adam even said that, at some point he saw Lydia like laying in Tim's bed, and like Tim had a girlfriend at that point, Allison. And then Lydia was also married at the point, and her husband was living in Europe going to fucking veterinary school or some shit. So weird situations, and so I on the show, I guess it came up about pro-choice, pro-life stuff, and Lydia had said, no, anyone that has an abortion, whatever, they're, horrible, evil people, something along those lines. And Adam was like, dude, like when I was in a past relationship, like I had, the girl that I was with, I gave her, because I was in more liberal mindset. So I was like, oh, you make your decision and I'll go with it, which, it happened to me. All right. Which, that's something that I have to fucking deal with too. And, and that decision, especially getting older and, again, more red pilling and, more stuff like that. Like I realized like that was, it would have changed my life a lot. And I don't think it's I don't think it's something that I can take lightly, but there's nothing I can do about it. So I'm not gonna,
And you don't know that you would be where you are now because of that either.
Exactly. And like the way that I feel is like life, everything happens for a reason. You learn from your situations, and you're not the person that you are now if you didn't go through the positive or negative situations that you have through your whole life. So like
Absolutely.
I would be in a completely different situation. So obviously I can look back at and, regret something or, wish I would have done something different, but then I wouldn't have met Jen. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
She's my fucking person. I love her to death, and I wouldn't change anything in the world. It's gonna get dusty in here in a second. I keep talking about that, but so Adam kind of went off on her and was like fuck you, like what the fuck, you know what I mean? And then so at the end after the show, he like went in on her, after the stream was done, and he was like fucking laying into her, and then Tim stood up and was just like, hey, whoa, you can't yell at her, blah blah blah. So in Adam's head, he's like, but bitch, you fucking yell at her all the time. You know what I mean?
Now, like, is this like documented on video, or is this just kind of like the stories that like Adam's saying?
Well, this is what Adam's saying because it was after the stream. So, and this is why everyone has wondered what the hell happened for so long, because no one has talked about it. So he finally was like, you know what, dude, like I need to get this off my chest. It's been 2 years. And I didn't want to think about it for so long because it was such a fucking confusing situation that like, now I've had time to fucking sit back and think about it. And now I wrote everything down, and now I'm going through it. And so that's why he did the live stream. So basically he yelled at her, and then Tim jumped in and, he's the boss. So it's like a weird thing. It's like, yes, was he kind of simping for a little bit? Yes. But then also he's the boss. So he has to step in if two employees are fucking screaming at each other. And I guess Lydia started crying, which I'm sorry, if you're an adult and you're in a yelling match with someone and you start crying, I immediately lose credibility for you. Like, you're going to cry. Like, I don't know. I'm with you. It to me, it just seems like a ploy by a female. You know what I mean? Like,
it can be,
and so that kind of happened, and Adam was like, fuck it, I'm gonna bounce. And so he left, and him and his wife, I think girlfriend at the time, and they all lived on the same like little compound or whatever. It was a part of the whole, Cass Castle shit. And so so they left, and once they came back, Tim, Adam was kind of like, hey man, like I don't know what you're doing with all, with Lydia, but like this is like I need to either figure. He was like, you can't yell at her, you can't talk to her about this anymore, blah, blah. And he was like, well dude, no, that's not the way that I am. Like, I mean, I need to hash out my shit, like, and if that means it gets a little heated, it gets a little heated, but I'm not going to get through it unless it's discussed, and I'm like, I get that, like, because how many times do you want to talk to someone about it, but then they just shut off, and you're like, well, okay, cool, I don't respect you anymore. Like, we can't handle this and deal with it. I'm like, cool, I can understand both points. But so basically Tim said, all right, well, and Adam's off the show then, and Lydia stayed. So he basically, stuck behind Lydia, but Adam still did the Adam cast, which was like his show. But he still did it on the compound at Tim's place. Tim put him up in the basement, built a studio for him, and like still kind of, paid him and did all this stuff. So it's like, it's this weird, like, catch-22 of like, yeah, Tim was kind of a fucking asshole, but he also like paid him and did all this, and it like kind of went back and forth. And I guess Adam said that it's, there were a couple times where he was saying that he was going to get rid of Lydia and bring Adam back on, and then it didn't happen. Went back and forth. Adam even said that at one point when Allison, Tim's girlfriend, who ended up becoming one of like the heads of their company, and was sitting right next to Tim, and then Lydia just came up and started giving Tim a foot massage with his girlfriend sitting right there. Like, just weird shit, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, okay, like if Jen was sitting right next to me and there was a girl that came up and gave me a foot massage, that
was employed by you.
Exactly. Not only would I be like, bitch, get the fuck away, my wife is right here. Yeah, but also Jen would be like, we're fighting now, bitch. You know what I mean? Like, what are you doing? So it just weird shit going on. And then, and then Adam fucking ended up moving to Sweden. And so he's in Sweden now with him and his wife. And like, I don't know, man. It's quite interesting. And Lydia and Tim have both responded either on Twitter, or Tim did like a 2-hour live stream talking about how, like, where he came from, and then it led into that whole situation as well. Never addressed any of the sexual, I guess, allegations or any of the improprieties in that way. Never addressed those. Neither did Lydia. And basically put it all on Adam. And so
like,
it's just,
why would he even acknowledge it at this point? He doesn't want to add fuel to the fire. He just wants to put it to bed, essentially. Just get rid of it.
But at the same time, if there was nothing wrong that happened, say there was nothing wrong that happened. Like, go into where maybe even, cause it's obvious that Tim didn't listen to anything that Adam had to say, because it's just a blanket overview of certain things, so like, if he would have heard those, like, if I would have heard that about me, I would have been like, and it didn't happen, I would be like, no, dude, like, this is the situation that happened. This is fucking ball, whatever. I mean, I still think it's weird why your producer's laying in bed with you.
Yeah, that's just not right.
Yeah, or why she's giving you foot massages. I don't know. It just seemed just weird. So that is something that I think people, like, you know what I mean? If you're going to make it this big deal and you're going to fire him over this shit, but then this shit comes out, like, I just think that's something that might be addressed, And it says in real life, cast IRL. So, like, what's going on in real life, bitch?
Yeah, just be honest. Or like, exactly. If he's not going to be honest, like, he's going to give you some skewed perspective of, like, his point of view of, like, what happened in that scenario. Like, oh, well, she just wanted to, like, help me out, and she knew I was really stressed out, so therefore she wouldn't rub my feet. Like, and it's like, oh God, like something along those lines. He's gonna, like, try and, like, normalize it to some degree, but it's like, dude, no, like, are you in some kind of weird, like, relationship with, like, your producer and your girlfriend, and, like, your girlfriend's okay with it? Like, that's kind of how it was, like, it sounds from what you're describing.
Yeah, and according to Adam, and again, this is according to Adam, someone against it.
Yeah, because it's all hearsay at this point until it comes out that, like, what really happened.
Yeah, and but there are just, human nature, and being able to, like, read people, you can see the differences in response, and you can see the differences in the way a story is told. You can see how, like, Adam literally was like, dude, like, I have all the respect in the world for Tim. Like, I appreciate what he did for me. Like, none of that is taken away from any of the situation that happened. I'm just confused. Like, I'm confused as to why all this stuff happened when these situations were set up as well. So, like, I can see also how Adam's, like, kind of at the same time, like, fuck that bitch. Like, she ruined so much shit. So he's going to kind of go in on that. Like, I can see that. But, like, in knowing that, it's pretty fair. Like, he was pretty fair about the whole overarching fucking situation. Right. And so I don't know, it's just weird, and it's just funny that, like, that this is all coming up, and, like, it's a fucking holiday miracle. Thank you for the content. I appreciate it.
God bless us, everyone.
Yeah. It should be good. But yeah, so I am done talking about that, unless you had anything else to fucking add in.
No, I mean, like, that was just very interesting. Give me a whole new, like, insight to, like, Tim Pool. I always assumed he was very boring and, like, just, like, lived on his farm with his chickens and whatnot. Like, apparently he's got a little, like heirloom of a or brothel going on his compound, and he's got all these producer, like, whores that just want to suck his dick. That's kind of cool. Good for you, dude.
It's just very odd because, obviously after a story's told, or after one side of a story is told, then people are going to come out and say different things. And so there's been some people on Twitter that have been like, yeah, I mean, she's not the first one to hit him up in DMs and, come into the house, and then, the door's shut to his room and they're in there. And people are like, oh, really? Like,
interesting.
Yeah. So it's
like,
just,
And it's Tim Pool. He kind of looks like a troll.
Yeah, exactly. It's weird. It's
It's like a little boy troll with like a beanie. I don't know. It's like
how many
I'm
times have we
sorry.
said on this channel, if he's getting some, everyone out there can get some too. You know what I mean?
Everybody can. That's right.
Yeah, exactly. You just gotta put
Have
in the
faith, everyone.
yeah, exactly. So I mean, I don't know. And then, but I can also understand it from Tim's point of view because he's a business owner and he's got to, make sure that his employees aren't fighting or, yelling at each other. That's not something that, you want to have happen. And like, I mean, I get that. And then I can also understand how like he might have been, scared that Lydia might have spouted off the mouth, especially in the Me Too era and like stuff going on like that. I can understand how he's like, I mean, I got to protect myself because what if she goes crazy and she says some shit and then I got to defend against that. And it's this big deal. But then, like, so, I mean, I can understand that. But at the same time, it's like, well, if nothing happened, then nothing happened. But if you're scared something is going to get said, then that means something probably happened.
Yeah. That's when you have something to hide, like you're not going to talk about it. You're not going to bring it up.
It just seemed very odd. And Tim laid out like monies and like how much he paid Adam and like a lot of stuff like that. And so like and then Adam wasn't vague about it, but didn't address all the things that Tim did, which I mean, I guess Tim's live stream was in response to Adam. So I mean, it would be weird if Adam was able to address all those things. It'd be kind of weird, but at the same time, it's like I can see both sides of it. And I can see how Tim, was like, I've been paying this dude money and he's making more money, than I am on this show because of percentages and whatever. I mean, I can see that too, but it's just like, I don't know. It just seemed very, very shady how Tim and Lydia were responding to all the allegations and all the shit that went down,
Yeah. Interesting.
Just weird. But yeah, let's talk about, the Macy's Day shit.
Okay.
Do you have any of that?
Yeah, I got a thing actually from Isabella Maria DeLuca. She's got a thing here. It kind of pops up in the first little bit of like her clip here, but it's her on Newsmax and like they're talking about the Macy's Day Parade and like it shows the clip where there was an actual drag queen in the Macy's Day Parade. Right for everyone to see, on televised the whole bit. So,
yeah.
Isabella, I want to ask you about this. I don't know if you had a chance to watch the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade yesterday, but if you didn't, you missed a drag queen performing in the street for all the children of America to see. Watch this clip.
Everybody was the same, what life would be a bore. If Manny goes with Sammy, hell, that's what he's yearning for. Let different rhythms move your seat, for I am often found. We all pursue a different beat, and that's what makes the world go round.
now, I know what they're going to say, and they're saying, "Oh, it's not as bad as like what we've seen in the past and this and that." But for me, the big issue with this is the fact that it's becoming a normalcy. You're seeing it
normalize all this.
Yeah, they're really working on normalizing this to where it's such a big part of the mainstream where it's like, oh, well, guys in dress, that's just the guy in drag. It's no big deal. Like, well, yeah, for adult entertainment, it's no big deal. But when we're talking about children, it's unacceptable.
And I was watching Jimmy Dore talk about, trans stuff and, he was like, I haven't heard about any, drag queen story or anything like that. And everyone on the rest of the panel on his show was like, what, are you fucking serious? And it's everywhere. And he was like, yeah, but he was like, I love drag queens. They're fun. They're hilarious. They're, there's a lot of entertainment, but it's adult entertainment. And isn't it sexualized? Like, isn't that the whole point of a drag show?
It's amazing to me the amount of people that are ignorant to the fact that, or they don't trust the media outlets that are talking about drag queen story hours or like, drag queen brunch shows and stuff like that, where like children are being brought out to these things. Like they're not talking about it, or they're not accepting it as actual facts. And it's like, no, these things are happening. Fuck, like in the city next to where I live, there was a drag queen brunch hour thing or whatever, where they did like a drag queen show, and they said it was all ages, and I got so sick to my fucking stomach about it. I started sharing that shit all over my Telegram and my Twitter. It's like, this is fucking evil. And I was hoping that like people would like start recognizing the fact that like this is wrong.
So the right just needs to start bringing kids to actual strip clubs.
And start teaching them about heterosexual sex.
Like, that's where babies come from.
It's like, not from that whore, but from like a similar place in a wholesome woman.
Yeah, exactly. Not from that whore, but from that hole.
Just get their takes on it real quick.
Gosh, even Thanksgiving, you can't escape wokeness on Thanksgiving. The Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, it's a family event. Why did they have to bring a drag show into it? I know it's not the worst we've seen compared to some other events where kids are present, but what's going on here?
Yeah, I think it's really sneaky on the producer's part to allow this in on many unsuspecting families who are not only there, but also watching at home with their children, hoping to see their favorite cartoon characters and Santa Claus, and they get this woke, perverted ideology of men dressed as women. And like you said, this isn't the worst we've seen, but it's all part of this agenda to continue to push this on our children.
Yeah, she's basically trying to say like it's indoctrination. They're pushing an indoctrination on the children by making it part of like the regular daytime viewing, and just like it's the normalcy. Like, hey, like this is no big deal. You're gonna see this all the time on the streets now, kids. Hey, your teacher might end up being drag at some point, or they might bring in somebody who's drag into your classroom. It's totally fine. You should accept this. This is now normal. And like that's the part that it's like I have the biggest issue with. It's like, no, like there's a reason why like it should be in the 21 and up like clubs at night, for like a drag queen show or something like that. It's adult fucking entertainment. It's mocking women, first off. So it's taking what gays think a woman is, and they make it a caricature of it. So they accentuate like the makeup and like the features, and they make them extra curvy, and then it's all perverted like jokes, which are funny in an adult setting. Like I have to be careful about shows that I watch or movies that I put on the TV when my kids are awake and in like the room or anything like that with me, because like I don't want them hearing like curse words, like like I don't want them like repeating fucking shit and stuff like that, because like they will. And like especially my boy, like I've already heard him drop F-bombs and like S-bombs and stuff like that, and like, dude, you don't say that. Like you can't say those are bad words, and like and I can't blame it on like the shows. That's probably because of me, because I fucking talk like a sailor. So like that's I have to watch what I say when I'm around my own kids and stuff like that as well. So like the fact that like I can't turn on like public television, something as simple as the Macy's Day Parade, something as wholesome as the Macy's Day Parade, without having to like maybe have to explain to them there's a guy in a wig with like fake boobs wearing a dress and high heels trying to look like someone that would want to be like a mother to somebody. Like it's such a complicated, convoluted conversation that like it's a waste of time. We shouldn't have to do that, especially until the kids are much older, where they can understand the complexity that goes along with that conversation.
So real quick, just wanted to interject. I saw that Tim Pool and Milo were trending together on Twitter, and evidently Ye, Milo, and Nick Fuentes are on Tim Pool right now doing their live stream. So that's something I'm gonna have to go back and watch.
Can we show it here, or no? Is that gonna be too meta?
Let me see. Let me mute this. But anyways, yeah. So like while this is the ads are running through, to talk about that, yeah. Like my buddy James, who I went out and drank with, and he was in the he was at my wedding and whatever. He said that he can't that he can't listen to the Whiskey Capitalist when he's around his girls because he listened to it for about 5 seconds and had it on the speakers. And within those 5 seconds, we were talking about, dicks and butts and farts and, something. And I said penis or something. And yeah, so very interesting.
So he can't listen to us like when he's with his girl. I apologize. I'm sorry, dude.
I was like, sorry, not sorry.
Yeah.
All right, let me see.
A parlor.
Well, I want to federate it with Mine's Rumble and Twitter so that they can all interoperate. And he was like, what's that exactly?
Right, I'm going to start it from the beginning real quick.
Just to down with that. We didn't get to talk about graphene yet, but we will.
We will. You have plans? You're going to call him later? I mean, I think when
I'm a live streamer. I do a show called America First on cozy.tv.
All right. And of course, Milo, you were here a couple weeks ago.
Yes, I'm your best ever guest.
I've been told that the episode with you was one of the best podcasts ever. People really enjoyed hearing you speak.
I think that's accurate.
Okay.
Yeah, you're welcome, Tim.
Yeah, thanks. I was wondering how I was going to make it even more extraordinary the second time I visited, but I think I might have pulled it off.
Luke's here.
Total Sausage Fest tonight. Welcome. My name is Zukadowski of wearechange.org. Today I'm wearing my Epstein didn't Epstein himself t-shirt, which you could get on thebestpoliticalshirts.com. And I think we should be using that word a little bit more, just like, this YouTube channel didn't Epstein itself. And if this YouTube channel is Epsteined, we will be streaming on Twitter. So yeah, I started a t-shirt company after YouTube demonetized me. So thebestpoliticalshirts.com, because you guys buy it. That's why I'm here. Thank you so much.
Shut up. I'll just pull this story from The Hill, which is from earlier today, 5 p.m. Pence says Trump should
talk about The Fly.
It's wrong to give anti-Semite a seat at the table. This, of course, is related to a dinner that happened, and I was wrong a little on the details. So a dinner happened. Nick, you were there. Yay, you were there. I just want to start off by, how did this dinner come to happen, and what happened?
Oh,
it's a full fucking table, dude.
Trump for about a month. We had scheduled the dinner in October, and then he announced for president.
So I don't want to.
How cool is this right now, Ian? Me and you are on the same screen as Milo and Kanye and Nick Fuentes and Tim Pool. We did it.
Yay, we did it. Yay, 24. But yeah, no. So okay, there we go. All right. I'll have to, I let my kids listen. It toughens them up. Yeah. So I don't know. That's definitely something I want to take a look at. And but yeah, I mean, on that note, I think I'm good for tonight, especially because I had too much coffee today.
Well, let's do some fun videos then. If you're gonna,
okay. Well, I might. I have to poop.
You have to poop.
I do
right now. Like right now.
It's. I mean, it's a prairie dog in it.
Well, okay. If you let the child hear.
Yeah. No, I'll stick in it. I'll pucker up the butthole for as long as I can.
All right. We'll just do 2 fun videos and then we'll wrap it up.
Sweet.
Okay, very good. Attaboy. Hold on, let me
Thank you for giving my butthole an attaboy. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. So here we go. I showed this one earlier. This is the new standard of beauty, apparently, for the left. So enjoy.
I'm scared. Oh my god, dude, that's gonna make me shit.
Trait is that I feel like a literal god when I look this hot.
So hot.
Wait, is that the one that was driving by?
Like
in that other video that you showed us?
We're on a wheelchair date.
Yeah.
We're on a date, a wheelchair date. I don't think it's the same one, but definitely she thinks she's just as hot. Look at that. Look at those curves, man. Like man, there's so many ovals in there. Like I am just rock hard right now.
Well, that makes one of us.
Yeah, so hot. The new standard of beauty for the left. I can't. I'm excited for them. I'm excited. That's a really nice video.
I have one.
Okay, you want to do what yours? And then I got one funny final one then too.
I think I sent this to you.
Okay,
I sent this to you, but I think our viewers need to see it just because it's great.
Daniel says he can't look away. She's fucking hot.
Dan, you are a weird fucking dude. That's all I gotta say. You are a weird dude. She gets my blood flowing. Yeah, she gets my blood boiling. All right.
Yeah, so hot.
So hot. Can you find the hiney?
You can't not find the hiney. It's all hiney.
I meant like the high knees, like the
oh,
knee.
the high knees. Oh, yeah, those are hidden under fat flaps.
Yeah. So, like, is her fupa like a mud flap?
Double fupa.
Double foops. All right, here we go.
You know what, guys? This isn't fair. I can't call Joe any slurs, and he gets to slur his way through this entire battle.
My speech is more clear than your gender. Robin has quit smoking pot because she would frequently forget what gender she was.
The only person who has ever fucked Joe is God.
God damn.
Some say Robin belongs to the men's room. Some say the women's room. I just want her to stop crying in the handicap stand. When I was 10 years old, the state took me away from my mother. I haven't seen her in 21 years. So, like Robin, both our mothers want their sons.
You know what, guys?
All right.
Pretty
good.
good. Pretty good. All right. Last one, and then we can wrap up.
Yeah.
This one had me dying laughing. Just as stupidity. Just pure stupidity.
This doesn't look good.
Oh, it's gonna get worse. Like, she forgot there's like suction cups. Oh God.
My God.
People are such fucking morons. Like, I'm gonna hide in this here table because it's gonna be so funny. And then what? Like, you're gonna immediately test to try and break out of it. You didn't think to like try and break out of it before that?
God damn it. Sorry.
A little louder.
Mike Coochie's Harry.
Can you?
Mike Coochie's Harry. Mike Coochie's Harry. Mike Coochie's Harry. What the hell is Mike?
I love this guy.
Mike Coochie's Harry. Mike Coochie's Harry.
Is it really?
Mike Coochie's Harry. What the hell? Mike. What?
What does it say, Mike?
Why is so funny?
Just read this.
Mike.
What does it say?
It says Mike Coochie's Harry.
Mike Coochie's Harry.
I'll say.
Understand.
It's not funny to you?
No, Mike Coochie's Harry. Mike Coochie's Harry.
So good. So good.
It's such a boomer thing for like women like of that age to not get those jokes. Like so fucking retarded. Like
Yeah.
it's such a common like one to hear.
It's like Mike Hunt. Like it's the same.
Yeah, it's great. Or Eileen Ulick. Or bend over and all those types of things. Like, there's just common names you would have like called over the intercom. I'm looking for my friend Eileen. It's Eileen Ulick.
Oh yeah, it's like that one news report where it was like the Asian airplane or whatever.
Oh, we so fucked and like
something wrong.
Something wrong. We too low.
Yeah, exactly. Or spell I cup.
Yeah. Ha.
Damn it! I was gonna hope you were just gonna do it for the joke.
ICUP. Yeah.
All right. So with that,
the new Apple iCup.
Yeah. Dude, okay, if they do that, I will.
Well, that would be if Tim Cook had a sense of humor.
Yeah, exactly. Which I don't think he.
No,
I don't think he does. Well, all right. Well, thank you for tuning into the Whiskey Capitalist podcast. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, follow, and comment down below to help out with that algorithm. Do it right now. Right now. Just smash it. Do it. We got another comment. That's good.
Something wrong.
And Dan said that this is why there's
way too low.
This is why there are warning labels on everyththing now. Yes, I know. Did you know that it's not a good idea to eat Tide Pods?
Oh, wait, there's another one. It was a whole. I'll write it in the comments.
Oh, we got you commenting.
Yeah, just did right now.
Holy fuck! It's all like the pho places.
Holy fuck! And then it goes something wrong. We too low.
That's racist. So also after you have liked and commented and shared everything, make sure you go to solo.to/thewhiskeycapitalist to check out all of our links and our socials and ways to stay up to date with us. See, yep, Amanda hug and kiss. There we go. Also go to bit.ly/thewhiskeycapitalist merch to check out our fully stacked merch.
Please support the podcast by buying some merch and whatnot. We are it's Christmas, guys. We got to take care of our loved ones and whatnot. So make sure you buy some gifts for the family and whatnot. Get them some shirts, get them some sweatshirts, get them some I guess we have all kinds of different stuff. We have pint glasses, we have do we have flasks? I feel like we have flasks.
We don't have flasks.
We
have
flasks.
iPhone cases. We have water bottles. We have fanny packs. We have bike shorts. We
Throw
also
pillows.
We have canvas prints. We have flags. We have everything you want. And for the Biden supporters in your family, we even have a Biden shirt. Go check it out.
This is very true.
Go to solo.to/tildeathstudios for any digital design and anything you need, any design for merch for the company that you have or anything like that. We can get that going for you. Go to solo.to/tilldeathpodcast to get all the links and the socials and everything for the podcast that I do with my wife, usually every other Saturday, but I was a little hungover. If you missed that whole story in the beginning of this episode, I was fucked up on Friday. All right. So, and also Shawn can tell you about what's going on with his stuff.
Yeah, solo.to/I'm Shawn Cav has my socials there. And as of right now, what I'm doing is, since I've gotten rid of my Patreon page now, everybody who was a Patreon subscriber is now put into my Twitter circle for exclusive Twitter content that I'm putting up there. And then I'm also going to, if you're going to give tips through the virtual tip jar and whatnot, that's all going to be through solo.to/I'm Shawn Cav as well, Venmo and Cash App, all that stuff. And that gets you thrown into the Twitter circle as well. So you just drop me your handle and I throw you in that. So
boom.
Yeah, working on it.
Yeah. Also go to @MoviesAmerica. Oh, and to speak on the Sippin with Shawn stuff, depending on what can be shown on YouTube, whether or not it's too spicy content or there's copyright things on there, I'm gonna try and get those and throw those up on the YouTube as like a flashback kind of Friday thing, whatever, for some old content. I'd really like to get our interview on there.
I have that.
That was good. Did you delete your Patreon?
No, I still have it. But what it is, it's what they call is like a unpublished or something like that. So the page exists, but it's not going to charge people anymore. And it's basically just there, like in case I want to reopen it at some point, until I delete my actual Patreon page, which I don't plan to.
Cool. All right.
So there's that.
Yeah, and also we're gonna try and look into some more stuff because we're not monetized on YouTube yet, and we're just building up on Rumble and all that stuff right now. So we're gonna try and do sort of like a donate little tip if you like what we're doing. We're gonna have a QR code and all that shit too.
Exactly. You know, it's going to be a virtual tip jar, guys. Like, support the podcast, support what we're doing here, all the content we're creating for you guys. So, a couple of bucks here and there goes a long way. It really does make a difference.
It does help. Or, you know, if you would rather, you know, go buy some merch, it's the same thing, and then you can sport
and you
our
get
merch.
something for it on top of the content that we're doing.
Exactly. So yeah, just treat it like an OnlyFans. Go to @MoviesAmerica on Twitter, www.moviesamerica.com. We're gonna have that content up here soon. He just did a Black Adam review, and then there was another one that just came up, I think today or yesterday, that I don't remember. Do you remember by any chance? Are we being bad? Network.
I did not see something besides the Black Adam one.
Yeah.
Movies, you should be commenting and telling us what you've been putting out, but it's okay.
It's the Glass Onion, a Knives Out mystery that he just did. He just did one of those. So go check that out. It's got Edward Norton and a couple other people in there. He said that Edward Norton looks like he heard someone that actually talked about Fight Club. So interesting. Oh yeah, and by the way, I just watched Fight Club yesterday because you know that's a Christmas movie, evidently. We just we watched that yesterday. It is a fucked up movie. All right, that movie is, dude, I forgot how fucked up that movie is. But yeah, so go check out @TillDeathPodNetwork on Twitter. And you follow all of it, get all of our links, get all of our stuff going on with that. But with that, I am going to drop a deuce. I'm gonna get out of here. And we are signing off. We are signing off for the night, and we'll catch you next time on the Whiskey Capitalist podcast.
Bye bye. Home to mommy.
See you later. I'm gonna come.